Today, I'm headed back into the kitchen for some viral low-carb recipes. I'm talking TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. These hit it big, and I don't want you to miss them if you're not hanging out over on those platforms. This is part of a series, and there are over a dozen videos in the playlist. What I'll do is link it down in the description box if you need to go get caught up. Here's my disclaimer. I did not come up with these recipes. I will put the creators down below so you can go show them some love. Just when I thought no other food would have a bigger glow up than cauliflower, I managed to eat those words. Guess who's having their 15 minutes of fame? That's right, cottage cheese. Say hello to the star of the show. Okay, come on, let's go cook up some cottage cheese recipes. Let's start out with the easiest recipe. Hold on to your seats. One ingredient, low carb chips. Spoiler alert, you already know what the one ingredient is. I did not find this recipe on TikTok or Instagram. There's actually nobody to credit. I found it in the Facebook group. So that reminds me, if you've not joined All Things Keto with Kristi, come on over. We'd love to have you. So apparently, you only need one ingredient, but you need more than cottage cheese. You need parchment paper and a microwave. Okay, let's move over to the island where I have more room. Right now in my fridge, I have copious amounts of cottage cheese. The one I'm going to try with our very first chip is the Great Value brand. I'm using the 4%, and that's what's considered full fat. I cut a square of parchment paper. This came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put a dollop of cottage cheese right in the center, then stick it in the microwave. Okay, the cottage cheese was in for just about 2 minutes. I'm going to give it a few seconds before I try to remove it from the paper. It's had time to cool. This is a massive chip. I'm not confident in my ability to get this off parchment paper without breaking it into a million pieces, but I'm gonna try. Apparently I don't give myself enough credit. I'm gonna hold it over the bar because I don't want to drop any crumbs for Quincy to get. It is crispy, just like a chip. And it does hold up well. It's already salty. Okay. I'm impressed. I would like to try seasonings on these. And hear me out. Maybe try to make them a more uniform shape. Not a necessary step, but for experiment's sake, I'm going to scoop out 1 teaspoonful to see how big the chip will be into the microwave, and I'm just gonna stand here and watch. That turned out absolutely gorgeous. I wonder what would happen if I try a silicone cupcake mold. It's either going to be perfection or an enormous disaster. Let's try it and see. I'm gonna stick with the same process. I'm gonna put a teaspoonful of cottage cheese into the silicone cup, then put it in the microwave and stand and wait. Well, that's not looking good. The microwave has spoken, and it says, no, do not put your cottage cheese chips in a silicone cupcake mold. This is gonna leave a mess when I try to get it out. Stick with the parchment paper. Let's get some seasonings. I want to see if we can make these even tastier. Decisions. We have the Flavor God seasonings. You already knew I was going to choose those. Remember, you can always look in the description box and get the discount code. Go order some of these. You're going to love them. I got ranch, nacho cheese, and pizza. I am going to keep it to 1 chip at a time. Normally I would make a massive batch of these, but I want to see what works first. And I'm sticking with the 1 teaspoon. I'm going to stir it up and place it on my parchment. It spread more than I thought it was going to, but smells amazing. While the ranch chip cools, I'm going to try the pizza seasoning. And now the nacho cheese. Let's take a quick look at the chip experiment. This one is just the plain, nothing is added to it. This one, yeah, this is a big old bust. It did not work in my silicone liner. And then the rest of these are the ones that I put Flavor God on, the ranch, the pizza flavored, and the nacho cheese. You know, I'm a note taker, so I have some tips for you from all my little research. First, microwave times will vary, and that's because everybody's microwave's different. I may use a smaller scoop than you do of the cottage cheese. Your times are going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. The important part, put your microwave down to 50% power. Once you put your cottage cheese dollops into the microwave, just stay right there. Just stay. I know it's hard to stay still for 3 to 5 minutes, or at least it is for me, but it's best to keep those eyes on the prize. Watch for them to start crisping up and to turn golden brown. That's when you want to stop them. Also, remember, when you remove them from the microwave, they're going to be hot, so be careful. Lay them down. Let them cool completely before you try to remove them. Just so we're clear here, I do have a new obsession, cottage cheese chips. They're easy. I can just microwave them and I can make them different every single time. Thumbs up. Pizza cottage cheese bowls. This recipe came from TikTok. The creator's name is Tonya, taking my life back at 42. Linked below. It has almost 3 million views. High protein, low carb, and delicious. Start out with a microwave safe bowl and add your cottage cheese. I'm using full fat, which is the 4%. Use whatever you can spare carb count wise for the day. Big heaping spoonful. I went ahead and covered the bottom of the bowl. What can I say? I like cottage cheese. I'm one of those people. Next ingredient just so happens to not be my friend. Type 1 diabetes. Any kind of red pasta sauces, tomatoes, things like that, my blood sugar goes up. So if you are not like me and you are not worried about a blood sugar spike, then add a little bit of marinara. If you're wanting to keep the carb count low and not worry about a blood sugar spike, then do what I'm doing. This is basically the only part of the recipe that I'm switching up. I'm using Flavor God's pizza seasoning. This, several carbs and sugar. Natural sugars even in the tomatoes when you're using a sugar-free product. This, 0 carbs and no sugar. You do you, boo, whichever one works best. Just gonna shake some of this on here. On top of that, sprinkle some mozzarella cheese. If you went with the marinara sauce, now sprinkle on some Italian seasoning. But if you went with the Flavor God pizza seasoning, you won't need it because this has tomato powder, garlic, paprika, sea salt, black pepper, basil, coriander, oregano, and parsley flakes. So you basically already got your Italian seasoning and your pizza flavor all in one. Into the microwave for 30 seconds. Mix. See how it ended up turning red just like it would have if it had the marinara sauce in it. Now go wild and add all of your favorite keto-friendly low-carb pizza toppings. I added some crumbled up bacon, deli sliced hot jalapeno peppers. I chopped up a few pepperonis. Back into the microwave for 30 seconds. Give it a quick mix. It's so cheesy. And enjoy. I love food. Best of all, it's not cauliflower. I'm gonna go finish eating this before it gets cold. Dessert next. Cottage cheese ice cream. I don't know about you, but I feel the need for something sweet. Have you seen this? Cottage cheese ice cream by Feel Good Foodie on TikTok. At time of recording, it's got 3.7 million views. The original recipe had graham crackers in it, and it also has honey, but that's okay. We can work around it. There was also no measurements. Basically, what we're gonna do is take our cottage cheese, as much or as little as you want, into a blender or a food processor. We're wanting to get it as smooth as humanly possible. Add whatever flavorings you want. Okay, let's make some ice cream. It is important that you use full fat. What is considered full fat cottage cheese is the 4%. Put it in your food processor or blender. I'm using my Ninja. Cottage cheese is salty, so you're going to want to add a sweetener. I feel like going with a liquid sweetener for your ice cream would probably be the best option. That way you don't have to worry about any gritty texture. I'm using the Splenda liquid. I picked this up at Walmart. It's only a few dollars. Since this is the first time making cottage cheese ice cream, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to use unsweetened Hershey's cocoa. I'm going to blend this until it is completely smooth, and then I'm going to do a taste test. Right now will be the time you will want to add additional sweeteners. Once you have it right where you want it, then you're going to add it to a container and put it in the freezer. I made a single serving, and when I put it in the freezer, I put it in a shallow dish, so it was only in there 45 minutes. I did not want this to freeze up completely because I personally like soft serve. If for some reason you leave it in too long and it gets hard and forms ice crystals, just sit it out for a few minutes and it'll soften up. It's late evening, sun's starting to go down, it's still warm. A little bowl of chocolate ice cream, what could it hurt? But first, let me say this, even at 330 pounds, I was not a huge ice cream fan. We're going to give it a chance, and yes, I'm using a plastic spoon. It has a nice texture, like ice cream, as far as it's smooth. Okay. I can still taste some of the saltiness. That's on me. I should have probably added more sweetener. There's just something about it that's throwing me off. Maybe it's the fact that I know it's cottage cheese. I'm wondering how it's going to affect my blood sugar. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most amazing thing ever, I'd probably give it a 6.5. It will not replace my Keto Chow ice cream. So good. And the Keto Chow ice cream has less carbs in it. Of course, adding different flavors to it, maybe even a little bit of fruit, would change the texture, the consistency, and the taste, but I'm not gonna lie. Getting those little curds smooth isn't fun. It's a chore. I know people are just raving about this, so tell me, did I do something wrong? Have you perfected it? Let me know. I have no doubt whatsoever that there will be a part 2, possibly a 3, 4, and 5 to this video, because the cottage cheese recipes that are coming out are insane, and you know we're gonna try them. And if you've seen one, because you know I'm not really on other social media platforms except for right here with you guys, which cottage cheese recipe you'd like to see included next. I'm gonna have everything linked for you down below in the description box. Make sure you go down there and poke around. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye.